Good morning, how are you? My name is Barungu Nyawera. This is the Outspoken on KenRelBis Updates. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and that is the shared handle. So please make sure you do keep your comments coming, interact with us, your questions as well, because I am not alone as usual. I think I need to find another phrase. Yes, yeah, I'll work on that this coming week. So I am not alone. Yes, I am joined by a very smiley guy. Yeah, I would like to know why he's smiling too much, yet we haven't even begun. So let him introduce himself. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome to KenRelBis and welcome to The Outspoken.
Asante sana. Yes, my name is Patrick Muriuki, Yodio Kitambulisho.
Yes.
And my jina mutani Big Patt. Yes, because I used to have a big wallet.
Wow, so it's where does Big Patt come from? Your wallet?
The size of my wallet. Yes.
It was really big that they called you Big Patt.
Yes.
So who are you as a person? Who is Big Patt to someone who doesn't have a clue to who you are?
I'm just a regular guy who want to have fun.
Yeah. And how do you have fun? What are the ways you have fun in?
One of the ways I love music. And I've played too much loud music.
Yes.
I've been reported to the chief and one day to the police.
Yeah.
And that's why I told myself that Nikiomoka, allowed to get land somewhere in the middle of nowhere and set up my own station and play music, and nobody will knock on my door anymore.
No, no one.
In fact, one day I was reported to church elders.
For playing loud music?
Yes. And the church was like 500 meters. Yes.
But they had your music.
Yes. I remember I asked them, how long do you want? They said 30 minutes. I said, it starts now.
Yeah.
Yes. And I set the time. In 30 minutes, my radio never started.
What happened?
I don't know. They prayed. They prayed for my radio never to work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And it never worked from there on?
Yeah.
Okay, now, but you've said that you love music a lot, and I understand you are a founder at a certain record label studio. Yes, Shujaa Records.
Yes, I'm the founder of Shujaa Records, which we registered in 2018.
Yeah.
In August.
Yeah.
And Shujaa was okay. That's when we got the name, and that's when we opened a studio in Buruburu.
Yeah.
It's a place called Jim Riser. But the idea of starting a studio started many years before that, and actually was trying to save and buy a big truck and put a studio inside.
Yeah.
And it started accumulating, buying one item at a time, doing a lot of research. In fact, when I asked for for producers, I gave them equipment, I told them, and the box. I had several sets. Yeah. Just set up and play your music, the music that you've done before, and then create me some beats. So I already had that idea, but it took a long time because you have to save for you to, to rent. No, when you're starting a business, especially a rented place, you have to make sure you have enough rent for 6 months.
Yes.
You have, the working capital to set up, some money to be able to pay at least for 6 months to the people that you hire. Yes, because most of the business, whether you're headed in the right direction after 6 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how is Shujaa doing right now?
Right now we are as music production, we are not doing very well because of of COVID. Actually, since 1 year ago, we've only done recorded one client, 4 songs. But what we've done is we evolved from just doing recording music to doing videos to doing documentaries. Yeah. Right now we are doing documentaries for clients who can make it here. Clients in America. Actually, most of my clients are American. I have people on the ground. I have a network.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now, I have people shooting outside this disease-infected zone and we are communicating online. They shoot, I check, I tell them to do this, to retake,
Yeah.
etc.
Well, where don't we have this disease, really?
Where?
Where don't we have COVID-19?
Why don't you have?
Where don't we have it? Where are your people recording? Where it is outside the disease infected?
No, because they are right now. Because we're based in Nairobi, we can't shoot in Mount Kenya.
No.
So from Mount Kenya, I look for, for people in my network.
Yes.
That can do assignments on my behalf. Yes.
Yeah.
We have people like. In fact, there was an interview on TV the other day. Somebody was trying to come to Kenya from UK to come and do research in Kisumu, and then go back, and he can't do that because of flight restrictions. But the solutions could have been just get somebody who's on the ground, give them the terms, you agree on the terms, they do it, they upload, and you don't have to travel. In fact, it will not cost you half a ticket.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. So speaking of music and history and how far you've been in it, does the name Big Classic 006 ring a bell to you?
Yes, Big Classic is one of the most talented musicians. And if you've not heard about Big Classic 006, I don't know whether you've been in the music circles. He was one of the first artists to be signed at Shuja, and he's done a lot of a lot of songs, a lot of singles like Katoto, Nakukolezea, and many others, Fundi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, you know him pretty well. I mean, you know his songs.
He's like my son. Him and my son were recording in the studio. I believe he's the one who inspired my son to get into music.
Wow.
Yes.
So what happened? Why are you not together anymore?
What happened is during when we had these lockdowns and I lost my job because I used to support, the artists using my salary. When I lost the job, now I had to cancel the contracts for everybody.
Yeah.
Big Classic. We had people like Dominant, and many others. I had 7 groups that were recording on Shuja, and then to cancel the contract.
And you were taking care of all of them from your own pocket?
Yes, because I believe in their stories. I've been through the same setup. I'm an orphan. I've been in the streets. So when if we get time, we can speak about some of the artists. But in general, they are all disadvantaged.
Yeah.
I've had artists who are very talented, but they cannot afford studio time. Some of them, they come into the studio, they've not had a meal maybe for a day or two. So we start solving that problem, and then we move to, when we test their vocals and we find they have talent.
Yeah.
We give them a chance to record a song or two, because they will need, for them to get help, even from their parents, they must have something to convince their parents or maybe their guardians or their uncles that they have the talent.
Yes.
Yes.
So now speaking of talent and how you went out of your job and how you had to let go of your artist, how did you move on? How did you move on to become a more financially stable person?
No, it's not been easy. It has not been easy because at the time, that is last year in January, I was planning on going now beyond, because now we had done, we had accumulated equipment, and we wanted to go into online TV and FM station. I'd even bought equipment. But the sad thing is that now with, in the entertainment industry, you have no gigs, you have no people coming for recording, you have rent to pay, and you still have some stuff that you need to pay. Actually, whatever I had bought, to go into the TV, I had to take it back to the shops.
Yes.
So that I can pay rent. I pay rent for a studio that I'm not using. But it is the studio that is making me now get international jobs.
Yes.
Because you cannot get a job if you show for example, you are cutting your videos. From your house.
Yes.
But they see you have a studio, you have equipment, they ask you for, for videos and pictures. and they see you established.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, speaking of having clients outside, I see that you were the initiator or part of a certain program in Liberia and Kenya. Tell me about that.
Yes. In Liberia, I was asked to revitalize the cooperative movements
Yes.
by my employer, the World Council of Credit Union. And this project was financed by MasterCard Foundation and the United Nations Capital Development Fund,
Yeah.
UNCDF. And I was there from 2013, April to June 2016. And if you watched Daring Abroad in, I think, July 2016,
Yeah.
by Alex Shamwada,
Yes.
that is, he highlighted some of the work I was doing. And it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, because you're trying to help people who've been through very difficult times. They've lost their people. They are in funks. My staff, they belong to different factions. They are all rebels. During the war.
Like literal
Yes,
rebels.
if an argument started there, it could end up with people shooting each other. Although it wasn't easy, but we were able to achieve a lot. I was able to draft the regulation that is now the central bank is using.
Yes.
I was able to set up 4 regional circles to serve 15 counties, and they had 25 branches within that time. And Ebola followed me there. Yes. He came and left. And it was difficult because I was my employer is an American organization. And some of the times I had to go, to America for meetings.
Yeah.
And the kind of discrimination you get, okay, especially at the airport. I remember one time I was to fly through Ghana. I flew through Ghana.
Yes.
And Ghana was not the red zone.
No.
So the plane went to the wrong airport, which is not Ebola ready. Yes, and for 1 week I had the best, medical attention from Uncle Sam. Yeah, first of all, I missed like 5 flights. They had to give flying doctors and stuff. Just because I came, I had a stamp from Liberia, departure.
Yeah.
They were checking. They thought I'm going to develop symptoms and I'm going to die, so they were waiting.
They were waiting for you.
And every doctor that came gave me a thermometer. They don't want it back. So I came with a bunch, and every like 3 hours I was told. For the first time, my phone. Actually, now I know why it doesn't take other channels. My phone worked in America by Safaricom, and it only does today. It can only do America and Safaricom. Every 3 hours, a nurse calls you. Check your temperature. Put in my thermometer. Yes, that is 6.7. How are you feeling? Yeah.
Now you are now quarantined.
No, I'm in my hotel, but every 3 hours,
Yeah.
I have somebody calling me. Yes. You are ready to sleep now? Okay, we meet at 6. Yes. For a whole week, even when because they had everything, including my ticket. When I got into the airport, that's when they told me, you already seated?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Travel safe. Yes. 1 week.
Yeah.
Being called by different nurses and doctors.
So you enjoyed it.
I hoped, they would have been that ready when COVID, started last year. Yes. Because that was perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I came to Kenya. Okay, I don't know whether I need to say this.
Maybe you.
Because I'm a farmer, so I bought a lot of seeds.
Yeah.
And I knew it would be a problem.
You are the founder of Agricultural Concepts International Limited.
Yes.
Yes.
I can tell you where that started. Agriculture Concepts started back in 2014 in Liberia. Food is very expensive. I told you there's a lot of problems in that country because people don't farm. Even chicken has to be imported.
No.
My friend. The only thing you can get them, a monkey. Because when they cross from Guinea without a visa, they're eaten the same day. Okay, let's get back to
agriculture thing, yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to make myself a meal because every meal was at least 2,000 Kenyan shillings. So I took my grocery lists and went to a supermarket to buy.
Yeah.
And I bought nyanya, tomatoes for $10, 1 kilo.
Wow.
I told myself I have to start growing this thing because it is not sustainable.
Yeah.
We're trying to make a meal the time, and you find that plate costing you like 5K.
Yeah.
And you don't even have a cup of tea.
That's crazy.
Yes. So I met with a few guys. I told them my idea, and we registered. I put in all my money. But the sad thing is, I was getting 40% and my guys were getting 60%. But when I gave them 50K to open a bank account for us, so that I can wire money, and we start buying land and stuff, they ate the money. So when I came here because of Ebola, I just registered. And I changed the documents and registered in Kenya and started it as myself, with one partner. Yes.
And how is that going right now?
We've put in a lot of money in that agriculture concepts, because we are trying to test ideas, innovative ideas like growing without using soil, that is hydroponics, using fish to feed. So I tried all those things and lost a lot of money, close to maybe 15M. Yes, but it's still running. If I start up talking about the problems with agriculture, we'll be here until Sunday. But we learned how to grow, through a lot of mistakes. We learned how to grow the best crop.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the market, because we've fed our plants a lot of manure, we've invested. They will say it is GMO. It is too smooth, it is too big, and then we lose the market. Yes. Then we were overproducing. We had problems with with the market. Somebody will give you an order. You actually plan because they say they'll be taking a ton every week.
Yes.
And you plan like 10 greenhouses for one customer. You deliver one, after 2 weeks they can't take it anymore. You have too much. So we had a lot of farm waste. So we went to phase 2.
Yes.
How to deal with post-harvest losses.
Yeah.
Because mainly we were giving very good tomatoes and hot to pepper to chicken and pigs. In fact, one time we fed pigs lots of tomatoes. They turned pink.
No, but pigs are pink.
They look like they're inside out. The pink, the meat.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Pat, let me ask you, do you think, looking at the condition and situation of Kenya right now, do you think agribusiness could be the way forward?
It is the way forward. In fact, the next African billionaires will be farmers. Yes.
Why do you say that?
Everybody needs food. Yes. We may not be able to afford a 3-course meal, but we have to eat. And that is why, from our experience, we've been trying to, to get people to start doing urban agriculture, where you can do vertical farming. You can get one sack, put in, soil and rocks, and start growing, all the vegetables you need from, 1 square foot area. Yes. Vertical farming, I'm an advocate of vertical farming. You don't need land. Actually, you don't need land to grow your vegetables. Yes.
Okay. So, can you maybe, because someone might think that there must be a confusion. There must be times that Big Patt and Patrick Muriuki clash. Have you had such scenarios?
Yes. Right now, when I'm agriculture concepts, Patrick Muriuki.
Yes.
Yes. When I'm talking Shuja Records, okay, Shuja music, Big Patt.
Yeah.
But now we are going to corporate, so we are dividing into. In fact, I had to go back to Facebook and try to change where I put Big Patt, because some of the work is actually for corporate. They want to see Patrick when they are searching. Yes.
So
when I work for corporates,
Yes.
it's Patrick Muriuki. When I work for individuals, some know me as Big Patt because, I get them through my connections with music. Yes. So Patrick Muriuki is a professional. I'm a consultant.
an IT consultant.
I started I'm actually a physicist. I lied to my teacher that I'm doing IT, so I had to take a few courses. Whenever you go home, you're a primary school teacher, you're a favorite teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, you are the favorite students because you are no favorite. Everybody was beating you. So
Yeah.
she kept on asking me what, how IT is going, and I told her it's doing fine. Now we're in second year, and then I knew one day she would know that I never did IT, so I started picking some programming, and it was very difficult and boring. But then when I went out, I could not. The work they were giving me for my physics was work that was dangerous. Like I remember my first work was to work with nuclear energy. Measuring, making sure that the pipes, they have a certain length, and there was no insurance, there's no medical. You die. Yeah, but then the IT I had could not help me get any job.
Yeah.
In fact, people are getting jobs. The guys that were doing PE in school are the ones that were running the IT industry. And with all my mathematics, trying to survive with mathematics and physics and those numbers, I was here trying to do packages. Yes. So somehow, I found myself. I had a cousin in University of Nairobi. I was in KU at graduation from KU.
Yeah.
So I went to Parity. I said I'm not going back to the village because everybody who went to the village is still in the village, and they're the ones taking those illicit drinks. They have only 1/3 of their teeth left. Okay, back to the story.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I went back to the university is because I realized by not attending all the IT training that we had, and the literature I knew cannot work. In fact, that time in KU, we had 2 computers and hundreds of students, and 1 computer never booted for the time that I was in school. One. So one guy will do a program, it runs, we copy it.
Yeah.
We all fail. So I started attending classes in Shiromo, and I wasn't a student.
No.
Yes. And to survive, how I used to go to a Kulima market very early in the morning at 5. Okay? To carry sacks. Crossing the road with those big sacks.
Yes.
My friend, I've done that. That's how I build my muscles.
You okay.
Yes. I know that thing is more than 100 kgs.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
When the guy who saw you get out of the way, I would do that up to maybe 8. Then I go take like 7 showers because those potatoes, that juice is all over your plate or your bag. Then I attend the classes. Yeah, I'm still a student there, so I'll not say too much.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Finally, I went back to the school because I believed it helped me, and I need to actually now get proper papers on IT. On IT and project management. As Patrick Muriuki, have been running programs for World Council and others. I've worked in the banking industry for the Cooperative Bank, and I've worked with other NGOs.
Yeah.
Yes. And my field has been IT first and financial management.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Tell me about Paymoran.
Yes. Paymoran, now that is another idea that is still... Actually, Paymoran was one of the finalists for the Tony Erumero in 2016, Tony Erumero Foundation.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But they didn't fund me because they had already funded me for agriculture concepts in 2015. Yes. And Paymoran, I registered it in US because I wanted to tap into the market. And the idea came from actually the experience with Ebola, because there was a way. There was need to support to support the the people who have been affected. They've lost their relatives, and there was a problem in profiling
Yes.
who is to receive the funds. So we are involved in trying to help, like the Oxfam and other NGOs that were involved in helping the families. And then I also had one problem because I realized you could be having money in your account, okay?
Yes.
And you sleep hungry. You actually sleep outside. The hotels, they do not accept your kind of cards that you have.
Yes.
Your mobile money doesn't work there. So I was thinking of how I can come up with a global mobile money platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had put in a lot of ideas. Half of them since 2016, half of them I've been seeing them in the new applications that are coming up.
Yeah.
Yes. And the secret portion, I still have it. Yes.
And what are you thinking about it?
I'm still working on it. Let me tell you, the biggest problem was getting the IT guys here to commit, because I did not have enough money to pay people to build. So what I was offering was stock.
Yes.
We make this happen, and you get the stock, and we share the commission. And the idea, what I wanted was, if I can run, support 1 billion transaction a day, and I only make $1 per transaction.
Yes.
That was enough for me. Yes.
Speaking of funds and all of that, the World Council of Credit Unions, you are part of it.
Yeah, I've been working for World Council for about 20 years.
20 years.
20 years now. What they do is they support development projects in different countries, more than 115 countries.
Yeah.
And they work with governments and international development partners.
Yeah.
What happens is, if a country needs a regulation for the cooperatives, we have that network.
So you're speaking as the coordinator for Kenya.
Yeah, I've been the country coordinator until last year. Yes. See, when I came to Liberia, I started farming, and then they had a cooperative development program that involves farmers and linking farmers to a market. The farmers that will not usually get support from SACCOs or from banks, because they don't have title deeds.
No.
They do not have even a credit history. So we'll package them, train them, and then take them to a buyer who is interested in what they're producing.
Yeah.
Then link them to a financial provider, like, for example, a SACCO. In this case, we're working with SACCOs, and they'll get they will not have to wait like for 6 months, because agriculture, it's time based.
Yeah.
You need to plant now, you get support from immediately. So we link them to financial providers, and also the market. And we, in one of the projects in Mount Kenya and Taveta and also Nyandarua, we're the one who introduce paying farmers by kg for their potatoes, not the ones that are used to carry, the ones with the big head.
Yeah.
Yes. So the farmers now have a market. The pre-processors, those who take the potatoes and they peel them, they cut them, they package them now for the hotels.
Know whom you are dealing with at what time as a person.
It's about time management. When I'm working for my boss, I do 8 to 5. Okay. Then once I leave the gates, from 6, I'm working with the studio, finding out what happened. And it's trying to balance.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I've not met half of the people who've recorded in the studio, because they record when I'm not there. Yes. But if I like your music, even if you pay the next one, I give it for free.
Yeah.
Because I want to see you now, come up with new materials and something that will you'll be able to sell.
Yeah. Yes. So you seem to be a person who really likes to give. Where does that come from?
Because I've always been given. I told you I lost my mom when I was in class 2.
Wow, that must have been hard.
And I remember walking naked, and I remember some women groups contributing some money there because they knew my mom, and that's why I respect women more. Okay, I respect everybody, but they saw me. They was okay. Yes, in fact, I was telling myself I'm building immunity, even if I didn't know what that meant. Yes, so I've already, always been given. I had an uncle was my mother's cousin, whose name I use.
Yeah.
I had not met my little dad until I was 30.
30 or 13.
30.
Okay, and were you asking questions about where this figure in your life was all along?
Yes,
did it happen
and
that you guys
everybody was
met?
lying, telling me that my dad was a hero, and he was actually, some will say in the police, and others, and he was chasing some thugs and they shot him. Where was he buried? They never told me. Yes, so I did my research, and actually I stumbled on a letter that was sent to my mom like many years before.
Or like we see in the movies.
Yes, I was looking. I needed to get a passport, so I went, to my grandfather's box and found a letter dated to my mother, care of somebody, and I knew the shop, so I went there and I said, because I could not get my grandfather, I needed an ID, so that I can get my birth certificate and go get my, my passport.
Yeah.
So I went to this shop and asked for, I was checking, care of age, and that letter was very old, by the way. And the guy jumped to the counter. He was as big as I am, by the way. And he hugged me. He said, my son, he bought me chicken for 2 days. Yes. And that was the only time I met him.
Yeah, the only
Later
time.
on, I was working outside and I heard that he passed on.
Oh, I'm sorry about
Yes.
that.
But there's still good news, because I think 2 years ago, or thereabout, when I was helping one of these groups, with a tent, and I had to buy some shares from somewhere in Anyuki.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you I was born in Anyuki. In Majengo.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's popular.
In Majengo in Anyuki, and I was homeless when I was being born in hospital, because I think these things of having rental years is balance in the family. Yes.
Wow. Big
So,
Patt.
yeah. So I walk into this, I have a reference, buy the shares from here. We already have a receipt.
Yes.
This is why we buy an invoice. And this woman looks at me, the owner, is like, are you related to so? So yeah. I say, yeah, that's my father. Okay. So have you seen your brothers? So directed me somewhere, it's called a new uniform.
Yeah.
Now you know my family. So I go there armed with all the names and everybody panics.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So and we are very good friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've met your family 2 years ago.
Yes, yes. That's when I met my father's now the family.
Yeah.
Yes. And in like 5 minutes I talked to everybody in different continents. Yes.
Telling them
But
about
our last born.
Yeah.
We got our last born, but they never told you I was born and I was alone. Yeah.
So it must have been a really good thing for you to find out you have family.
Exactly.
Wow.
All of a sudden you have people you can call, hey bro, and he's a little bro. Yes.
You really
Not a
have
guy
about
you
that.
money.
Okay.
Yes.
But have you ever been caught with your pants down?
That's a long story, but
But we have the time, don't we?
next question.
No, I agreed. Yeah, that's a yes.
Yes.
You have been caught with your pants down.
Yes.
What happened?
The problem, there are even witnesses.
Oh,
Yes.
and this could land you in
That I was
sort of-
young. It was one of the vacations, and I thought I went to the wrong house.
So that's how we say it.
We agree we are not talking about that. Out there.
All right. So if you don't want to talk about when you were caught with your pants down, when was the most challenging time in your life?
I've been broke half of my life.
Half of
In
it.
fact, okay, I have so many lows, but the worst was, South Sea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether there was a slaughterhouse or something. I've grown to drop, an application at KEBS.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing everywhere. If I see a car with, with a company name, I'll go search it and go to Shani. Shani bookshop in town?
Mm-hmm.
They used to have a map with all the streets. So I'll check, the directories or the phone booths, and I'll find the street.
Yeah.
Then I'll arrange my application.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that time I was coming from KEBS after walking all the way from Kagemi. I used to Othero.
That's a
from
long
my aunt's
way.
place. I used to walk every day to industrial to look for work. Yes.
Wow.
And when I got the work, I never reported. I think I told you that.
Why would you do that? You had been working for how long? How many days before you got a job?
Working for many months. Oh. The day I got it, I never reported. I realized it's easy to die. Okay. And I wasn't alone. Even my colleagues, from my comrades, I remember one went to one of these companies.
Mm-hmm.
But before I go there, let me finish about the KEBS.
Yes, please.
So I dropped my application on the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm walking down, and I hear footsteps. And they continue increasing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a dump site where they were throwing bones.
Yeah.
And my head, I was like this, stooped. Yeah? So I stood like this and turned, and I saw like a dozen vultures waiting for me to drop dead. Dozen vultures in South Sea. I said, never ever. Always, they look surprised, like they started looking at each other.
Mm-hmm. You mean literal vultures?
Yes. And big ones. And stocks. And, they thought this is enough meal for the family. Live, maybe with some blood. That was one of my lowest.
How bad was your condition that vultures had to follow you, awaiting your drop? Hearts going like this, and head like this. They thought I'm going to drop either the heart or the head. So sorry, I'm laughing. This is not funny, but how you put it is hilarious.
Yes. The other one was, I told you it was a hawker. The job that you apply and you get it the same day. For me, it was hawking. You go leave your ID and, you're given a badge or a letter. You just append your name, and you are selling Dubai things, hawking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing I'll never do is sell to a drunkard.
Why is that?
Because you're selling a blanket and they're telling you to demonstrate how you sleep.
Did you do it? Did you demonstrate?
It was too comfortable. Anyway, my lowest moment at that point was going to KU and getting arrested. The same university I was a few months before I graduated. Now I'm trying to sell. And I had a customer.
Yeah.
And I told them, look, I'm a graduate here. So I was not putting the sales. I was taken across the road to the other side by the security.
Yeah.
Don't never to come back.
Have you ever gone back?
Yes.
Why?
My son is studying there. Yes.
So you don't hate the institution?
No. Hey, they made me who I am. Yes.
That's really nice.
Yes. You may not believe I was a student leader from my area for the Mount Kenyan with the Tain Kuraru, if you've ever heard about him.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was also the karate captain. I know you are doubting.
No, I am not. Why would I doubt?
Yeah. I was, and we were lucky those days. We used to win a lot of tournaments. And my karate team, where I was the captain, is now a company.
Meaning you are the best.
We were the best. We now invest together.
So you can do like 1, 1, 2 kicks.
I no longer do to demonstrate. I do to bring peace.
How do you do karate to bring peace, Big Patt?
Because when I look at a person, I can see all the the vulnerable places, and I'll never punch. Just hold your hand and you say sorry. I know where to touch.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are the highlights of your life?
I've had a number, getting my kids born, getting a good wife, and also, making things happen. Like, you see something you drafted over a weekend, getting passed by Parliament.
Yeah.
Although they omitted the part that I had drunk 60 beers when doing it.
Huh. So you're a drunk lawmaker?
No,
Or is it
actually it
maker?
depends. You want to stay awake when you're working. Avoid coffee. Take some Heineken, 60. Over the weekend, never slept, and I had law passed by Monday.
Which law
for
is
Friday.
this?
The law governing cooperatives in Liberia. Financial deposit taking. Yes. And we had fought for like 2 years. 1.5 years thereabout, because we did it in 2015. With team that was heading, that was, interdepartmental, central bank, Department of Cooperatives, and others, the circles themselves. Yeah.
So
That was one of the highlights, and getting a plaque, written with my name from one of the credit union that we, and and having, built institutions that stands to date, and people took a risk. They take a risk, and they gave me the job, and I got it. I had a lot of challenges. Every morning I'll wake up with a problem, and by evening, through God's help, there will be a solution. Yes.
that's really good. Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
okay, are we allowed, now that you won't talk about when you were caught with your pants down,
Yes.
can you talk about when maybe you felt like someone is trying to lower you? Can you talk about your physical appearance?
Okay. I'm a big guy. Usually people will forget my name. They call me the big guy.
I
But
thought
somebody-
Big Pat comes from your physique, actually.
No, the big guy comes from my Big Patt came from.
The bigness of your
Yes.
wallet.
They even did a song called Shuja. Yes. Because what used to happen when I have money, I do not get attachment to the money.
No.
Yes. Because I remember that time guys asked for something small so that they can work overnight. And I emptied my wallet and they made 2 songs.
Wow. Must have been really big.
I think they did Missy Fisi and Shuja in one night. Yes. Yes. The good thing with my physique is that I no longer fear. And this is actually it's artificial.
Yeah.
I pumped myself. I'll do a lot of exercise and not. Then I stop. Then tone. Then build.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I used to be picked everywhere. Even Makangas, the conductors, they were not returning my fare because there's nothing I could do. Yes. So every time I get annoyed, I'll pump around. I've always had gyms, except now. And then I don't have time to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yes. And even space.
Yeah.
In an estate, they see you skipping around, shaking the entire estate. You get into trouble. Yes.
Wow, Big Pat. You are a person who is in various industries.
Yes.
How do you maneuver in amongst all of them? It's more than 4 industries that you're in.
Yeah, and they're not difficult. You see, one, you have a network,
Yes.
and then you have people that you work with. You divide your time. Like for studio one, my partner was running the studio on day-to-day. Agriculture Concepts is already a company where I only need to get reports.
Yeah.
My consultancy. Actually, agriculture board. It grew to not just grow food and be an innovation center to now being a consultant.
Yes.
Yes. And what has happened is my colleagues that we've been working in projects together, we associate with agriculture concepts, and we are able to do now other jobs like trainings, like the consultancies.
Yeah.
Yes.
The country Kenya right now is undergoing what I can call a deadly virus. Apart from the COVID-19, the country is we are broke. We are running into debt.
Yes.
Corruption is increasing each and every day. The lockdown is not helping. The curfew hours, even worse. So what would you advise or talk to a youth somewhere who's just sitting holding a head in hand, not sure about how tomorrow is going to be, not even sure it's going to be there? What will you say to that very hopeless youth in Kenya right now? Because that is like 95%.
Okay. One correction: there's no hopelessness. We don't have hopeless youth. What we have is youths like ours, without mentors.
Yeah.
We made a lot of mistakes because we don't have role models. But right now, the good thing is that at this time we have social media that can be both positive and negative. Can have both the positive or negative influence. And right now, all I can tell you is, for example, how I turn myself around. When I have difficulties is reading. We have a lot of motivational books. You don't have to buy, to buy them. You can borrow from people.
Yes.
Actually, I even built a library somewhere at Agriculture Concept for free. And you want books, you can take them away. I was not even having a record.
No.
Yeah. I look at what people are using, and I learned that from my uncle who brought me up. Yes. Somebody will like the book. The one thing I like being stolen from my library are books. Yes. But one book in particular has been stolen every time I buy. It's called Mafia Manager.
Yes.
About management. Yes.
And you're happy?
That book I really wanted to have a copy. Even if I buy two, and they are very rare, one always gets, because you cannot get it online.
Yeah.
Yes. Reading is very, very important.
Yeah.
Especially, reading that will improve your mind. Learn about how you can start in a business.
Yeah.
And some of the businesses that you can start now, you don't even need capital. What you need is access to internet and access to network. And the people you associate with are the people that can break or build you. Yes.
How about the role of the Kenyan government in the uplifting of Kenyan youth and the market, the economy as a whole?
Okay, the government, cannot do everything, and that's why we usually urge people: you work together. You either form a group, and actually, when you form a group, you'll be able to meet the government halfway. You'll be trying to solve a problem, and that is the only way you can get help.
Yeah.
You get like development partners, NGOs, and even government. They have funds for youths that have a purpose. They are solving a problem.
But these funds are barely given to the people they are supposed to go to.
Yeah, we still have that problem of corruption. It's everywhere. I think it became just like an epidemic. Yes.
Okay.
But you see, it all starts with leadership, because in some forums, wherever I say, if we start hanging thieves and corrupt people, this country become a first world. Everybody says we don't hang them, we jail them. But if you start hanging them, put it in law, we are going to become a first world.
So
because we have everything.
Yes, we do.
Especially Africa has everything the world needs.
Resources, I mean.
Yes, but what happens is that even if you have good leaders that are growing the country, somebody somewhere will find a way of getting to you.
Yeah.
And make sure that you do not exist anymore, so that they can continue benefiting. When you benefit your people, you're an enemy to the developing world. Yes.
Wow. And COVID-19, it's a nightmare. Actually, it's more of a day and nightmare. Yeah, it doesn't have a specific houring. What's your take about COVID-19 and the measures that we're taking as a country?
Yeah, COVID-19 is not hard to control.
Is that, are you
and
sure
it's not,
about that?
it's not as dangerous as what I've seen before.
I mean, Kenyans have died.
Because I lived in Liberia, you see your neighbors dropping dead.
Or Ebola.
Your neighbors dropping dead. People come out of a taxi. You know, their matatus are taxis.
Yes.
The same taxi we see here, but it will carry 15 people. Yes. That fielder will carry 15 people. You find it stopped, the driver is dead because somebody had it and everybody is following.
All over around them.
It was like an instant, it's like a bomb. If we isolate, if we, because the incubation period is known. If we follow the measures the ministry is giving, we'll not even need a lockdown. Yes. But when people are given a small chance, we call it a small opening. They overdo it. They're sleeping in bars and we can control it, and the government also needs to do their part. They mess with us, they waste our time, and then they are still allowing other people to come in with the virus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the government needs to do what it's supposed to do, and everyone
yes,
else
not speak from both sides of the mouth.
Yeah.
They are telling us, they are locking us down, but they are, they are moving around meetings and calling us to the meeting. They were not wearing masks.
Yeah,
not everybody, but some of the leaders.
Yes.
Yes, they are responsible for these spikes. Yes.
Wow. So
they only react when some of them start dying. Yes.
And it has happened before. We have seen it this couple of months that have passed.
Yes.
So, Pat, you're a family person.
Yes.
You're a father. You're a husband. You must be uncle somewhere. So the kids are now at home because COVID-19, the closures of schools and institutions. And kids some of them are doing things that are not really good. They are not pleasing. They have bad products. They have bad consequences. Like the boy who watched Killing Eve and slaughtered his whole family. But for the two sisters who had reported back to school, we have seen so many incidences of that. Could you speak to kids as a father as we wind up?
Yes. I know we are stressed, and as a parent, I've taught my children that life is about to give and take. And from some times back, I tried to teach them about money, about doing business. And there are times when you have money, and that does not mean that you waste it. There are times that you don't have, and that does not mean that you get into bad habits. And you have friends out there that can lead you the wrong way. You have to be able to look at what somebody is bringing at the table. For me, I guess I was lucky because my own uncle who brought me up had put in conditions, some of them written. For example, when somebody is coming to get you out of the home, they must have a plan or a strategy. Are you going to get into trouble, or are you going to benefit? And that is the same thing I've instilled in my two kids. My son, joins me in photography. He was a Gegeton music artist called Butcher. He's the one who did the Rinimbaya. But now he's become like, we became close. Actually, one of the, it's the parents that have been alienating the children. You cannot punish children because of one mistake or two.
Yeah.
Usually it's better you talk with them, you have them spend some days with you, see the stress you go through. I've always made it a point to have my kids attend where I'm working.
Yeah.
Come to the office and learn. It is not a mystery what I do for a living. Right now, they are involved in what I'm doing. Yes. In fact, some of I tell them, you want pizza, for example.
Yeah.
Pizza is always an item that they want to have it, and I tell them you can have it every day because you have to earn it.
Yeah.
So they are always asking, when are we going out to work? And now, actually, I've done some shoots with only my kids. Yeah. They edit, they shoot, just managing the client.
Yeah.
Yes, and one is 11, one is 19.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you. So do not give up as a young person. Do not give up, and do not, your time will come. Don't think that you are behind. Some of us, I wanted to be a pilot. Okay, but now I've realized I have to buy my own plane, so I'm going back to the strategy on how, to balance between making money to buy my plane and, helping my kids to grow to be, the best citizens.
Yes.
Yes. And there are a lot of opportunities. If you have a skill, research more of it. There are opportunities online. For example, we just concluded the Tony Elumelu foundation that I benefited from.
Yeah.
The application. I asked my son to apply. He's been asking for money to launch an idea. I told him apply, put your business plan, and now he's attending training.
Nice.
Yes. He may get the $500,000, but once he gets it, he already knows what he needs to do. Yes.
So kids don't actually, it doesn't mean that they have to engage in bad behaviors and bad habits because they are not in school.
Yes. Please don't engage in mischievous manners. We did that and we suffered the consequences. You can either die or go to jail. None of that is good. But you can build an industry. Look at all these guys, even Mark Zuckerberg, they did their companies when they were under 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And after school, there is more you can do to help the society. In fact, if you want to make money, look for a problem that is affecting a lot of people and find ways of solving that.
Yeah.
You solve that, people will put money in your idea and you become an overnight millionaire.
Yes.
Yes. There are no other shortcuts. Yes.
Wow, that's really amazing. So that has been our time. Yeah, I see it's now really on our side. I hope is there something pressuring that you would like to say?
Wow. I have nothing. I'm all right. But if somebody wants to reach out to me, it's Big Patt or Big Patt Shuja on Instagram, on Facebook. Shuja Records. If you want to record, if you want to do movies, doesn't matter where you are. We have partners across the globe. We'll be able to help you get your ideas into the market.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
How about your corporate contacts? Where can they find you?
On LinkedIn, I'm Patrick Muriuki. You can also reach me on WhatsApp. The easier number is 0101010124 or 25.
There's an option, and they are both yours.
Yeah, those are they're usually my secret numbers, but if you're on this channel, you can use that to reach me. Patrick Muriuki on LinkedIn, pgmuriuki@gmail.com.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. I hope you guys have learned as much as I have, or at least as close as much as I have learned, because I have learned so much about, maneuvering in business, getting yourself more than one idea and growing it to the very top, and not giving up was the key factor and lesson of this session. So thank you so much for keeping it KenRelBis Updates. See you next Thursday. Outspoken is the show. My name is Barungu Nyawira. Peace out.
Thank you.
That was good.